with your hosts, Stephen Edwards and Maureen Edwards.
Hi, Maureen. How's it going?
Hey, Stephen. Glad to be with you today.
So I'm hoping I can pick your brain a little bit about the benefits and a little bit about the practice of therapy with adolescents. I myself have done therapy, particularly when I was in high school, and I thought it was quite beneficial. And now working with many young children and teenagers, I see a lot of potential use that they can get out of talking with someone on a professional level. And I don't think it's as common as it probably should be. I think there's a lot more acceptance now, but it also comes with a steep price tag more often than not if people don't have benefits. And that's a big barrier for a lot of parents, especially if they can't necessarily see the tangible benefits to going to therapy, especially if we're talking about spending $100+ an hour, right? So I'm hoping you can dive into that a little bit and tell us about why therapy is so important in adolescents who are struggling with maybe emotional regulation or behavior or depression. The list goes on, really, but I'll leave it to you to flesh that out.
Yeah, it's a really good topic, and it's a very personal thing whether a family is going to invest into therapy for their adolescent. And many times what I have encountered is that the adolescent will go to their mother and father and just say, I want to talk to a counselor. And then if the parent has benefits, they set that up and then it takes place, which is really good. Like if the parent has benefits that will pay for this service. A lot of, especially now, maybe that's because I'm a female therapist, a lot of adolescent girls find therapy extremely beneficial just so they can get a sounding board of what's going on in their life and a little bit of guidance, a little bit of direction, an ear to say, well, that sounds normal, or that sounds like that's a red flag, or whatever it is. Many times it's relational for adolescents. They might be having issues with friends or having their first relationship with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and they are trying to manage this. Social media seems to be another big area of needing a little bit of mentorship as to what's going on in social media, and somebody said this, and then there was this, and then there was a big discussion about this. So there can be a lot of things happening in social media for the adolescents. Sometimes it could be dealing with some issues at home, whether it be a death of a parent or an absent parent, or alcohol or drugs in the home. And it seems that when there is something happening in the home, it's my observation that it's extremely impacting the youth. So that when it's brought up and when there's space for them to voice that, usually a lot of emotion comes out. And maybe that's beneficial just in itself, to be able to have a place where the emotion can be, unpacked and just unloaded into that venting space. And at the same time, there can be that development of that compassionate, empathetic relationship where whatever you say, it's okay. not going to be judged, and I'm here to support you.
I think all of that is incredibly valuable, and you can also give these teenagers a lot of tools to help manage their lives. One thing that I see frequently in parents is almost a misplaced ego when it comes to allowing their children to get involved with therapy, because they think, I've seen it very, very often, where they think that, why am I not good enough? Or am I doing something wrong? What am I doing something so wrong that makes you want to need to talk to someone? Are you talking about me? All these questions start coming up in their mind, and they put it as a reflection on themselves, that if my child needs therapy, I must be doing something wrong. And that can take a heavy toll on a parent.
Yeah.
Is that something you feel is an accurate representation? How would you coach a parent through these thoughts?
I think that if there is a communication problem with a parent, it's usually expressed as sadness, where the youth or the adolescent, they really want to make it better. They want to connect. They want to be heard. And yes, sometimes the parent might be a little bit leery about having a session with their youth, because they might feel like the youth is going to just start saying, you're a bad parent and this is all your fault. And I find usually that maybe it could start out that way, but after both people sort of initially get what they want out, it can be redirected into a very healing experience where emotional connection is what happens. And they usually walk out in a very, very good place where they feel like they've both been heard, they're both understood to some extent, and they have a direction how to communicate and move forward. So I see it as very, very powerful.
Thank you so much, Maureen.